Hello aspirants. Looking at current affairs for 24th April, the news items picked up from the Hindu newspaper are these 14. We look at them in detail. The first one, Rajya Sabha chairman rejects motion against Chief Justice Mishra. So we had discussed this in detail on Saturday, Friday or Saturday, that the Chief Justice of India, Deepak Mishra, an impeachment motion has been initiated against him by the opposition parties led by Congress, and it has been introduced as such in the Rajya. It has been proposed in the Rajya Sabha. So the Rajya Sabha chairman has to accept it, admit the motion as such. So this motion has been rejected by Rajya Sabha chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu. He refused to admit the motion for removal of CJI Deepak Mishra, which was the first time in India's constitutional history that the Chief Justice of India was being initiative taken to impeach him. So here he said the reason for him rejecting this petition motion as such was that the opposition's petition was based on suspicion, conjectures and assumptions and doesn't constitute proof beyond reasonable doubt. So the thing is that the judges as such, not just the Chief Justice of India, any judge of Supreme Court or High Court is impeached as removed by the Parliament at the central level, Parliament, and through a procedure in which the charges are proved misbehavior or incapacity. So here 5 charges of misbehavior were leveled against the CJI by the opposition in this petition, but then the Rajya Sabha chairman says that these are only suspicions. It's not proved beyond doubt. So this is the point on which he says that this is being rejected. There were 5 grounds we had discussed on the basis of which they were charging this allegation of misbehavior against the CJI. We had discussed that in detail. So here what has happened is that proved misbehavior incapacity under Article 124 of the Constitution actually comes through the process of the motion. Means the motion once initiated in one house, a 3-member investigating body is formed which will look into the charges, and thus it is proved. This you can see is how a judge is removed. So this is the complete detail which we had discussed. So it's all listed out again here. So it's admitted in one house and then a 3-member body is formed. So this body investigates. And if this body establishes misbehavior, it proves that there was misbehavior on another ground is incapacity, then only the passing of the address takes place. The passing by majority in both the houses is required for the impeachment motion to be completed. So this proving of misbehavior is through this investigating body, a 3-member panel formed. So this is after the motion is admitted. But before admitting the motion, the Rajya Sabha chairman M. Venkaiah Naidu saying that this is not proved, proved misbehavior. So that is not the way it works actually. So, and he is given specific grounds on the basis of which each of the 5 reasons given by the opposition in the petition has been rejected. You can see on the first ground he says that they say that Chief Justice of India may have been involved in a case of illegal gratification. If you recollect, it was Prasad Education Trust case. So may have been involved, so it's not, it's just speculation. That's what he says. And then second also he says that the Chief Justice of India is likely to fall under the scope of investigation. So this is also likely to fall. So it's only, it's vague. That's what he's trying to say, the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Also CJI appears to have antedated the administrative order. If you remember, this was the 3rd point in the 5 points of misbehavior proposed by the opposition in the petition. So this antedated also here it said appears to have antedated. So again this is not proved, it's only appears to have. So there are doubts in the opposition itself is what the Rajya Sabha chairman says. So proof beyond reasonable doubt is not there, but this proved his behavior comes later, is a clarification which is required. Then he also says that another was regarding master of the roster case, that CJI has arbitrarily assigned politically sensitive cases to select judges. So in this, Mr. Naidu says that a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court had reiterated that CJI is master of the roster. So this is internal matter of the judiciary, you cannot question it. So this is the reasoning given by him. He says that the petition is trying to undermine the independence of the judiciary. So that is why he is not admitting this petition. So of course this has created furor in the opposition too, and they have proposed to go to the judiciary on this point, that on what grounds that Mr. Naidu rejected this motion. So these are the points that Mr. Naidu raised and Congress counters given here. Then next is AFSPA lifted in Meghalaya. So this is regarding the Armed Forces Special Powers Act. So this act is specifically there in presently prevalent in many states in Northeast and also in Jammu and Kashmir. And this act has been controversial because under it the army and the central forces deployed in these disturbed areas are given the right to kill, authority, empowerment to kill anyone acting in contravention of the law, Also they can arrest and search premises without warrant. So such powers given to the armed forces as such is what has been protested against. Even the judiciary has said that if this is force used, unreasonable force used, then this also is subject to prosecution. So that immunity, complete immunity, has been diluted by Supreme Court order later. But AFSPA still continues to prevail in various states, and now presently it is showing that central government has removed AFSPA from Meghalaya. So Meghalaya has been freed from AFSPA. Already you should know Tripura withdrew AFSPA in 2015. Also in 2017, Home Ministry gave up its power and asked the state itself to decide on whether to continue AFSPA or not, and that was the power given to Assam government. So Tripura doesn't have AFSPA, even Manipur only in some regions, 7 assembly constituencies of Imphal. Apart from that, Manipur also does not have AFSPA. And it is there in Nagaland. So Nagaland has AFSPA functional presently, and Arunachal Pradesh too. So even foreign tourists, you should know, in Nagaland, Manipur and Mizoram, foreign tourists were not allowed, but now they would be allowed except from 3 countries, Pakistan, China and Afghanistan. Also 6-decade-old protected area permit regime, which was there in these 3 states, Nagaland, Mizoram and Manipur, that has also been relaxed as such for 5 years by the Home Ministry. So this is there. So here you can see in Arunachal Pradesh too, it has been diluted from 16 to, it has been restricted to 8 police stations where AFSPA would be applicable. So here the contentious provisions are mentioned. And various committees have recommended, like the BP Jeevan Reddy committee had also recommended that AFSPA should be repealed. And this is the Supreme Court judgment in which it says if excessive force is used which leads to death, then it must be thoroughly inquired into by an independent body. So it's not complete power to kill anybody without any reason. So that restrictions have been brought in through the Supreme Court ruling. Then next is PM to launch Gramin Swaraj Abhiyan from MP. So Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to has launched actually the Rashtriya Gramin Swaraj Abhiyan from Madhya Pradesh on National Panchayati Raj Day, which is on 24th April. So it is celebrated on 24th April because the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act came into force in 1993 on 24th April. So this act provided constitutional status to Panchayati Raj institutions. So that is why this date is celebrated as Panchayati Raj Day since the last 10 years actually. It was initiated by Prime Minister Manmohan Singh, former Prime Minister. And presently too, the National Panchayati Raj Day has been celebrated with even launching Rashtriya Gram Swaraj Abhiyan. The Prime Minister would also felicitate Sarpanches who have achieved 100% smokeless kitchens, even full vaccination under Mission Indradhanush and 100% electrification under Saubhagya scheme. So you should know about these schemes also which are mentioned here. You can see even a tribal heritage would be highlighted in this visit to Madhya Pradesh, the Gond tribes which are located here. So here you can see the Mission Indradhanush, which was initially for these 7 diseases, vaccination for 7 diseases. So a few more have been added to universal immunization program too. But these were the initial 7 diseases, and Indradhanush, as the name says, is for vaccination for 7 diseases. So immunity against 7 childhood diseases. There's another mission Indradhanush with respect to banking. So of course there is a disambiguation required. So UPSC will not ask you a question where it will not clarify which mission Indradhanush it is asking. So you don't need to worry about that aspect. But you should know there are 2 mission Indradhanush. One was for bank reforms. And this is regarding the Saubhagya scheme, means Sahaj Bijli Har Ghar Yojana. So this is the scheme which is aiming to provide electricity to all willing households so that kerosene use can be reduced, and it will provide benefits to all aspects, because if electricity is available, then improvement in education services, health, communication, public safety and women lives also improve. Then next is Cooperation can resolve Mahanadi dispute. So this is regarding Mahanadi river water dispute, which we have discussed quite often. This is between two states, Orissa and Chhattisgarh. Mahanadi originates from Chhattisgarh and then flows through Orissa and then drains into Bay of Bengal. It is the sixth largest river of India, and Chhattisgarh has constructed dams and barrages here without the consent of Orissa. Orissa wants a tribunal to be established here, but central government has not yet initiated that. So there's a viewpoint coming forth from experts in civil society that cooperation should be used to resolve this Mahanadi dispute. It should not be politicized. The next is GI tag for Warangal Dhurris bring hope to weavers. So this is regarding Warangal Dhurris. So GI tag has been provided. Geographical indication certificate has been provided by Chennai-based GI Registry of India. So this dhurris are actually these carpets and mats. So Shatranji carpets, prayer mats as such are made through this with these Warangal dhurris, which are known for their bright colors, geometrically repetitive patterns and interlocking zigzag motifs in cotton and jute. So they have been given GI status. So here you can see different types of dhurris are shown. The next is Munnar all set to welcome visitors. So in Munnar in Kerala, the Neela Kurunji season has begun. So this is the flower which is found in Munnar Wildlife Sanctuary, specifically the Eraviculam National Park. So here in this park, which is popular tourist attraction, Neela Kurunji, which is actually a flower which blooms once in 12 years. So these blue flowers are very famous here. So this has bloomed here too presently. And Eraviculam National Park is also known for the animal Nilgiri thar. Then next is threefold solution for sugar payment crisis. So sugar production in India this year has hit record highs, and this has crossed domestic consumption estimates, which is resulting in crash in prices. So that's why a group of ministers, GOM, has been formed, which will look into this matter, and it has given its proposed its suggestions, which will be presented to the Union Cabinet. So this group of ministers include Minister for Agriculture, Minister for Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, and also the Transport Minister, who is heading the GOM, and also Petroleum and Natural Gas Minister, as you can see. So this GOM has suggested three solutions as such. One is a sugar cess, a production subsidy for cane farmers, and a reduction of GST on ethanol from 18% to 5%. So ethanol is a byproduct from sugarcane. So this is another suggestion given. Because what has happened is sugarcane mills have not been paying farmers for the sugarcane which they have procured. So these sugar mills are defaulting, and this default is said to have crossed 20,000 crores. So this is a huge concern, and now these suggestions have been brought in. Even government is looking for ways to incentivize value-added products from sugarcane like molasses and ethanol. So if the market is created for them too, then surplus harvest of sugarcane can be diverted. So this is it. Then next is Supreme Court to review order on dowry cases. So on dowry, Supreme Court gave an order in July 2017. The gist of it is provided here. You can see. So this order on misuse of dowry related provision in the law is that, and this was supposed to be rectified, and the order as such said that police or magistrate will refer every dowry related complaint to district level family welfare committees. So the idea was that this dowry law is being misused. Women are putting false allegations against their husbands and in-laws. So if ever a complaint comes, so for every complaint, the police or magistrate will refer it to a district level family welfare committee. And these committees will have members from social workers or volunteers, retired persons, wives of working officers, etc. So this was a Supreme Court order saying so, which was quite vague. And it said this committee will decide whether this is a genuine complaint or not. And no arrest will be made until this committee submits its take on the complaint. And grant of bail within a day should be allowed, irrespective of whether dowry items are recovered or not. Even if dowry items are recovered, bail can be provided. Only exemption was where there are tangible physical injuries or death. So this ruling as such is being challenged in the Supreme Court now, and Chief Justice of India Deepak Mishra has agreed to decide whether this order as such dilutes anti-dowry harassment law or not. These details are provided here, how what were the provisions in this order, which we discussed in the image. So even the central government, represented by Additional Solicitor General, has said that the order was not practical because this funding of family welfare committees and monitoring them is not implementable. So this is the point. The next is Central Team probes charges of unethical clinical trials. So this news came of unethical clinical trials in a Jaipur hospital where drugs for orthopedic drug as such was being administered, and the workers here from these villages, they suffered from their health deteriorated, because of which they complained, and they said that this drug was given to them in the hospital for treatment of indigestion. So hospital has refused these allegations, but this news of unethical clinical trials has come forth, and the central government has sent a 4-member team to investigate into this. The next is Supreme Court notice to government on petition to outlaw Section 377. So Section 377 of IPC, Indian Penal Code, is one which criminalizes homosexuality. And this petition has been filed in the Supreme Court, which is seeking right to choice of sexual orientation. This should be part of fundamental right to life and personal liberty under Article 21. So this is what the petition is seeking, and the Supreme Court has asked the central government to respond on this petition. So it's actually challenging the December 2013 order of the Supreme Court, the Suresh Kumar Kaushal versus Nas Foundation case, in which it said, the Supreme Court said that LGBT community is an eligible part of the population, and therefore it denied them the right to choice and sexual orientation. So the Supreme Court presently has said that societal morality changes with time and law should change pace with life. So it has said that concept of consensual sex may require more protection, and it will look into this aspect. So Section 377 actually punishes carnal intercourse against the order of nature. So what is this order of nature? It may be different for different individuals. Individuals' natural inclinations may differ. So this is the viewpoint being taken, and the petition asking for this as part of fundamental right to life. It be so declared. So here you can see the story so far. So in 1860s, it was a Section 377 which was put in Indian Penal Code. So it is a colonial era law. And 2001, Nas Foundation filed a petition in Delhi High Court. And here in Delhi High Court, it's decriminalized Section 377. But in appeal in Supreme Court, the 2009 order of Delhi High Court was reversed. So this is the status presently. Now, and again, a petition has been filed in the Supreme Court. The next is petition seeks action against flag incident culprits. So this was an incident in London where protests were going on, and in these protests, an Indian flag at the Parliament Square in London, the Indian flag was ripped down. So this as such has been protested against, and the petition has been sent to British Prime Minister Theresa May asking for action on this. So the culprits as such, according to video footage, are Khalistan demanding groups, so pro-Khalistan groups. They were seen tearing the flag. So the pro-Khalistan groups along with Kashmiri separatist groups were participating in this protest at Parliament Square in UK as part of minorities against Modi protest on the sidelines of Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit to UK. Then next is India, highest recipient of remittances. So India retains the top position in the world as a recipient of remittances, which had taken a dip last year but has improved sharply this year now. So it is in the top, followed by China. Then comes Philippines, Mexico, Nigeria, and Egypt. So remittances in India are said to have overall globally also driven by growth in Europe, Russia, and the US. Even high oil prices also result in remittances improving, because then the people staying abroad, they are able to, even in the Middle East, Indians in the Middle East, they are able to send money back at higher rates to India. So here is the remittances in India shown as such. So rebound is driven by economic growth in US and rise in oil prices. The next is software major TCS now in 100 billion market capitalization club. So Tata Consultancy Services has become the second Indian company to cross the 100 billion mark in market capitalization. So So the first one was Reliance Industries Limited, which achieved this milestone in 2007. So this you can see, so its market capitalization has gone past $100 billion. And the last news item is India may drag US to WTO on tariffs. So India is set to, officials say that India may lodge a trade dispute against US at WTO. So that will depend on Washington's response. India has actually recently requested exemptions from these tariffs which US has imposed on exports of steel and other products. So steel and aluminium basically. So this higher tariffs on steel and aluminium, which has been made, put into effect by US President Donald Trump. He announced it in March 2018. So this actually India is also demanding exemption, because exemption has been given. This order has been suspended from imposition till May 1 for some countries like Argentina, Australia, Brazil, Canada, Mexico, EU, South Korea. So India is demanding exemption too. And if US gives its exemption, fine, because it says we are not a security concern for USA. And we already have a strategic partnership with USA which goes beyond trade. So we should be granted exemptions too. Even our export is quite less. So this is only 2.2% of India's total steel exports, which is exported to USA. So we need exemptions, and if USA provides us exemption, fine. Otherwise, India may launch a trade dispute against US at WTO along with other countries, including China as such. So that is speculated. So these are the news items. Thank you.